welcome everyone. This is the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo. This is our weekly podcast. This is our soft opening. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, and what we're going to be talking about today is some of the things that we've got going on right now, some of the things that we were involved with last week. We got a few things that we were involved with, and some of the things that we've got coming up in the future. So what we want to do right now, if the tech team, if you could put 5 minutes on a 5 minute timer on, that way others that are just tuning in to the podcast will get a chance to log in. Let's see if you can do that. All right. So give us about 5 minutes and we'll get started. All right, we are back. We are back. This is the Community Solidarity Response Network. It's our weekly podcast or our video minutes. And I know you may wonder, why do we call it video minutes? Well, before the pandemic, we would meet in person, at the Padua Center. Before that, we met at the Muhammad's Mosque, number 91 of the Nation of Islam. Before that, we met at Mott Branch Library before it became Mott Conda. And man, before that, we were meeting at Kent Branch. And after the meetings, we wanted to capture the things that were said. So we'd set up a cell phone and videotape one of the members or one of the participants just reading back the notes that they took in the meeting. So just in case someone wasn't able to make it to the meeting, we'd have the video notes or video minutes. So after the pandemic happened, we weren't meeting in person, but we're working on a schedule to be able to start meeting in person, maybe have a monthly meeting where we can bring people in and talk about some of the things that are going on in the city and some of the ways that we can address it immediately. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him, and I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN. Now, I know most times you would probably see Jody, Ruth, or Julian, or someone else sitting beside me. Well, today I'm solo. Today, hopefully, we'll have a couple of members chime in. They're busy in the community making things happen. So I said, well, I'll stay behind, run the podcast today, field some of the guests that we have scheduled to come in, and make it happen. As I said, I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Jabril Bey and Mike Leonardi. Back in 2014, they had this idea that ordinary people could speak truth to power and make an impact on our community. They decided to stage an event at the Frederick Douglass Community Center, who we still have a great relationship with. And as of right now, they're really doing a great job of refurbishing the Doug, and we can't wait to see that grand opening that they're going to have. So after our initial event at Frederick Douglass, we staged a protest right outside the Lucas County Courthouse, and after that, it took off. Most times when there were protests, people would come out, say what they need to say, and then there was never a follow-up meeting. Well, after that protest, we had a follow-up meeting, and then during that follow-up meeting, we actually talked about what we were going to do next, and we didn't have to waste a lot of time. So it's awesome to be able to continue on that vision of Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey to continue doing what we're doing. For those who may be visually challenged, today I have on my black baseball cap. I have on my glasses from Optical and Twix in Between, Christian Moncrief. She has a mobile eyeglass office, and she will travel to you. She posts up at a lot of the pop-up shops, and I got these glasses from her maybe last year. Excellent service. And I have on my virtual Black Lives Matter Awards. In 2021, during the pandemic, we wanted to have our Black Lives Matter Awards. We had one, I think, in 2016, and then another one in 2019. And we wanted to find a way to celebrate our members of our community, 40 and under, that may not get the notoriety or attention as some older. And we did it virtually, had people pop in and receive their award. And that was very successful. And this is one of the t-shirts from it. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, defending, and protecting all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And as I said, this is our weekly podcast. Before I get into our guiding principles and our mission statement, I wanted to put something on the stream right now let's see, I should have had this together earlier. For anybody that wants to support us, you can donate today or assist us via Cash App. That's cash tag CSRN 419 or PayPal CSRN 419, or just stop by the Toledo Urban Federal Credit Union and say, hey, look, I want to help CSRN continue doing what they're doing. And that's the way we keep things going. It's also a way that we help to support other movements in the city. We're not the only ones that are making it happen in the community. There's others that are making it happen too. And if we can assist them in making sure that the things that they want to do can be done, if we can assist them with some technical information or technical expertise from what we've already done, that allows us to do it. So I thank everybody for assisting us. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to read our mission statement. All right, this is the CSRN mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed November 25th, 2014. The day after it was announced the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity needs to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help to foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politicians, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed, class, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. That was his quote at the end. What we're going to do, we're going to play a quick commercial. Then we're going to come back with our guiding principles. This is the CSRN Weekly Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. If you're watching this, put something in the chat. Let us know that you're out there. Say what's up. Throw a black fist in there, whatever you got to do. These are our guiding principles. And I just read our mission statement, which lets you know what we're about. And that's really important because whenever there's a grassroots organization, it doesn't take much to be led off the path. It doesn't take much to be led astray. All right, you started out as one thing. A couple of months later, you don't know what's happening. So our mission statement helps to keep us grounded to why we came together in the first place. This is our guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black Lives Matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe. That means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe. Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe. Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe. Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe. Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe. 360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe. Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe. The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe. Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe. Those are our guiding principles. That's what really keeps us together. And as a group, grassroots organization, it's been 7 years since 2014 that we've been doing this. Myself, I started doing this work in 1991 upon joining the Nation of Islam and receiving my X, as you've heard of Malcolm X. And that started me on my journey to caring about what's happening in the community. 2014, man, this energy with Mike Brown and our brother Trayvon came. And man, so many things happened that allow ordinary people to start speaking up and speaking out. And I would like to say that the movement was decentralized, meaning there was no one leader now. You didn't have to wait for Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or whoever to come to your town. You were in your town, so why don't you step up? So I stepped up. Others stepped up that may not have been a member of the Nation of Islam. You don't have to be a member of the church, of the religious community or political community anymore to speak up. If you've got something to say, just get out, and say it. So we're going to be talking about a lot of those things. We had a group, a prayer group, anti-gun violence prayer group that had formed, and I would like, if anyone from that movement is watches this video, inboxes, we would love to have you on to continue that positive, fresh energy of resistance to just doing things the same. And from what I watched, it was an excellent event. Before we take a short break, I want to also bring up some of those that have supported us. Doing this work, you might see one or two of us on the podcast, or you might see one or two of us doing an interview on television, but it's not just us. We may have been chosen to do the interview, just like I was chosen or selected to do the podcast, but it's not just a one person thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and give some thanks to some of those who assisted us along the way, and are still assisting us on the way. This is the Community Solidarity Response Network, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. This program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it, we have to breathe it, we have to do it, we have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man.
All right, we are back. That was our short promotion for Brothers United. And if you know our sister Ava Fowles and her husband and the work that they're doing a phenomenal job of helping our community regarding our fathers. And man, it's a lot of work getting us together. And I'll also shout out to all the brothers that sign up to be a part of that program. It's a wonderful thing when you see our brothers stepping up to be fathers, to stepping up to get resources on how we can get back in the lives of our children. And you know that we've had a lot of violence in the community. Now, somebody could say, well, we need more police. Well, police respond to crime. And I really want to get to my thank yous, but I want to say this: police respond to crime. So what can we do in ways of preventing? One is us as dads getting in the lives of our children. It's an early investment, all right, because those children that have their dads in their lives in a positive way impacts those children later on. So if someone says, well, what can we do? Well, you can support Brothers United. You can support Brothers United by contacting Ava Fowles and asking what can I do to help. Most programs, nonprofit programs, need funding. So whatever you can do, if it's in-kind work, if you can rally the people in your office to put together a fundraiser for it, do that. That impacts later on, because when we have violence in the community, it's too late after it's happened. But what we can do, we can prevent it by supporting the people and programs that are already doing it. So I may not need to come up with a youth program when we have several out here that need our support. So instead of me saying, hey, look, I want to have the Brother Washington Young Men Academy, well, there's already people that's doing it. There's Sean Mahone. There's the Frederick Douglass has programming when it's there. The Grace Community Center, Center of Hope. Okay, I could just start naming things off that people are actually doing something right now to make a difference in the lives of our young people and their families. So before we go to anything else, I want to talk about Juneteenth. I want to talk about the prison industrial complex and its impact on men and women. But I wanted to give some special thanks for everybody, for these people in particular, and some I might remember while I'm saying this. So some that I may have left out, that's just me, all right? But first, the NAACP Toledo branch. When you might think, well, why the NAACP? What do they do? Well, you might need to go to a meeting and find out before sometime we talk and not know what we're talking about. But the NAACP has supported us in nearly everything that we've asked them to support. And if they haven't supported us in what we wanted to do, it's because I didn't ask. So shout out to the NAACP that helped support all of our political events, our Black Lives Matter events, our Black Lives Matter award events, and anything else that we've had to do. Our Black Lives Matter scholarship program, where we awarded 3 college students first prize, I think, was $1,000 for an essay regarding what does Black Lives Matter mean to you. We launched the Black Lives Matter scholarship event because most times people may think that if a young person is in college, then he's got it made. Whoa, I've had 2 children in college and they don't have it made, all right? So we launched this Black Lives Matter scholarship in order to assist the young people that are already decided to further their education. First prize was $1,000. Second prize was $500. Third prize was $250. That's $750. I don't have it in my pocket to give, but we reached out to a lot of organizations and a lot of our well-wishers and asked them to help us along with that. And the NAACP was one of them. I want to also give a shout out to Pastor Real Estate. Brother Rob Pastor, which he's moved on from Pastor Real Estate, but when it was Pastor Real Estate, when we called Pastor Real Estate and said, hey, look, brother, we're doing this. We can't do it alone. We can't do it without you. Can you help us out? And Pastor Real Estate was always there to help us. Jobs with Justice Toledo. That's a advocacy group that promotes political events and political policy that's happening in Toledo right now. So Bob Lynn and everyone that belongs to Jobs with Justice, thank you so much for your continued support. And these are people that we can reach out to today if we need their help. St. Martin de Porres Church that sits at the corner of Bancroft and in Detroit. This is where we have a lot of our podcasts from, St. Martin de Porres. And right now I'm in one of we call our Studio B that I'm in right now. I want to thank the staff, including Sister Jenny Welch and the whole congregation that know what we do. They know our impact in the community, and they offer space to us to utilize. And we thank them for that. And we also thank them for allowing us to plan at the Padua Center. When we first started out, we needed a place to plan revolutionary type things. And the Padua Center was there to assist us and help us. I also want to thank the labor and staff of Muhammad's Mosque, number 91. That's the Nation of Islam in Toledo. The student minister there, the student captain, the student sister captain, and everybody at the mosque that helps me and guide me to make the decisions that I'd like to make regarding the protest community and activist culture. And they assist us with space if we need space at the mosque to meet or anything else, security from the FOI. And we're going to try to see if the FOI can provide security for our Juneteenth program. That's in the works right now. So if any of the brothers are listening, hey, I already said it. So, I'm going to be coming at you, asking you for a favor. I also like to praise and thank Dr. Dr. Patrice McClellan, who is a scholar in her own right. And she could easily use her scholarship to pretend that she knows nothing about social justice. But anytime that we need her and her expertise and her strength and knowledge and skill set, she's always there to help us. As a matter of fact, she had helped assist us with, I think, one of our mayoral or city council forums that we had. And we love her regardless what color her hair is. And it's blue, but we're down with that. I also like to thank the Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce. You may not know that there's an African American Chamber of Commerce. So if you're starting a business or would like to know how to start a business or like to know how to retain a business, give them a call. They assisted us with our CSRN candidates forum recently, where we had members of city council, the mayor, I think maybe a couple of commissioners too came out. And we thank that Toledo African American Chamber of Commerce for assisting us. We'd like to thank Dr. Hope Bland. This sister from day one, she reached out to us if there's anything that we can do. And there was something that she said, if there's anything that she could do, and I'll always call you, Dr. Hope. And she's always the first one to assist us and help us organize, plan. If there's some things that we need to say in a particular way to get the job done, we'll do that too. Also like to thank the Frederick Douglass Community Association, otherwise known as the DUG. In 2015, we had our Black Lives Matter Day. And the Frederick Douglass allowed us to do that because there was a Klan meeting downtown. Toledo is a strange place. They allowed the Ku Klux Klan and the white nationalists to come downtown and protest, and they were protected by the police. Now, Fast forward 2020, we wanted to have a rally downtown, and they met us with snipers, so it was a different thing. So we knew it was a setup because I was involved in 2005 when the Ku Klux Klan came to Toledo, and I was asked to speak to some of the brothers that are part of street organizations to let them know that it was a setup. Don't be involved, because all you're going to do is get scooped up and be a part of the legal system, the injustice system. And 2015 wasn't any different. So we had planned our Black Lives Matter Day at the Doug. We had a van to go downtown and get our brothers and sisters that were down there calling themselves, protesting. I'm cool on protesting, but this is a setup. So we thanked Frederick Douglass Community Center for being there for us and to help and assist us. And lastly, the Empowerment for Excellence program. You may not have heard of it. If you're not in the treatment and recovery, you may not know about Empowerment for Excellence. So thank you, Brother James, for always being there for us, along with Lima Humadop for always being there. Big thanks to Toledo Kwanzaa House and Mother Diane Gordon, who is really the mother of Kwanzaa and the mother of Juneteenth in our community. If you don't know, now you do. She's been a part of the protest culture and revolution culture for 70 years. And she was on our podcast last week to talk about some of the things that she has coming up. And if you want to find out what she has coming up, go to her page, Diane Gordon, find out what she's doing and be a part of it. So those, those are some of the things that we really wanted to highlight tonight, along with some of the things that we feel that are really important. What I want to go to next quick, and we'll do a quick break. I want to talk about, let me bring up this right now. Yeah, I want to talk about the prayer walk that had happened and the impact that this made on everyone. If I'm not mistaken, this happened on Sunday, May 15th, where a lot of people met to pray for the city. Now, you might think, well, what does prayer do? Does prayer work? Well, prayer is an action word, regardless what your faith is. Prayer is being able to go into a one man or one woman huddle, say the things that you want to do, and then start out and do it. So I want to thank everyone that was involved in the citywide prayer walk. And hopefully in the future, if there's anybody that was involved in planning it or being a part of that event and planning, reach out to us. We would love to have you on so that you could talk about the impact of the anti-gun violence citywide prayer walk and the impact that it had on you, being able to be in the community, being able to see how people care about seeing you care. So I really want to give a big shout out to that. So what we want to do right now, let me take that off the screen. What we want to do right now, we're going to do a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about the order of the day, which is Juneteenth. Hey, look, this is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We will be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
That is Bike Rides Matter. If you know our brother Keith Cook, he's a comedian. Last year, my wife asked me that, hey, look, it's a pandemic. People are doing things different. People are starting to get a little healthier, lose a little weight. And what do you think, Washington, about, she called me Washington, don't call me Brother Washington. That's kind of weird. But she said, what do you think about us riding bikes? I'm like, absolutely not. I've got a car outside. I've got a truck over in the garden. And she's like, and that's the way Yvette is. She's like, okay, if I push back, she knows I'm going to agree with it. So long story short, she brought me a really nice bike. And we started riding with Keith. So every Sunday at 8:00, we meet at Uptown Green. If you got a bike, you've got some lights on it, be good to get you some lights because we're going to be riding in the dark. And that's really good to be identifiable. So I've got quite a few lights on my bike, maybe one too many that I look extra special, but that's okay. I think that suits me just fine. And we ride about 10 miles. 10 miles might seem a lot, but it really isn't. It's a really nice pace. And it's some really good self-care. If you're into caring about people and caring about humanity, it's a good form of self-care that you can use to kind of get away from things. So, hey, meet us next Saturday, 8:00, Uptown Green. All right. Now, next thing I want to talk about is one of the things that we have coming up, which is Juneteenth. Let me put that on the screen right now if I can. Let's see, how does this thing even work? Oh, okay, good deal. All right, right in front of my face, but that's okay. It is what it is. Hey, listen, on June 18th, from 12 to 4 at Mott Branch Library, we're having our Juneteenth. It's going to be a health fitness event, health and wellness fair. This is for the community, and we're focusing on Black men this year. And why Black men? Because some of us neglect our health, not only our mental health, but our physical health too. So this year, along with CSRN, we also have, I'm going to try to remember all the people that we have involved. It might be good if I went to the page and looked at it, so I won't get it wrong. So just give me a couple of minutes, family. And this is live, all right? So it might look weird. Why is he talking and not showing us what we need to see? Well, just give me a second, family. So what's going to happen on June 18th, we are meeting at Mott Branch Library, all right? And this is going to spill over into Smith Park. So much praise for Smith Park and the Smith Park community. It's also going to spill over to MLK School. So great job. Big ups to all of the organizers at MLK for allowing us to use the property, the parking lot, and we're going to have first aid and CPR. I think that with the way things are happening now in the news, it would be good to know some first aid if there was an emergency. And we're seeing right now emergencies happening every day. So it would be good for all of us to have some first aid or CPR skills. So we're going to have someone there for that. We're going to have some prostate screenings. I know most guys like, no, dog, I'm good. No, dog, we dying. All right. And we're dying because we don't want to do what it takes to get examined. And I told someone today, hey, listen, what would you say if someone didn't want to change the oil because they didn't want anyone getting under their car? Well, how else are you going to change it? All right. You can't change it through the windshield washer fluid or anything like that. So we got to get checked. All right. We're going to have Narcan training. What is Narcan? Well, if someone is having a opioid overdose, all right, or any other thing that we can use Narcan. I keep Narcan in my car. I never know when I'm going to need it for a brother or sister that's overdosing, and we should have it with us because drug use and drug addiction and its impact on our community is pervasive. It's everywhere. So we can't say, well, that's just white people. No, it's not. It's all of us. So we're going to have a Narcan training. There's going to be a scavenger hunt. I don't know what they're going to have. That's going to be on Ruth to figure that out. Giveaways and much more. So if you can, that's Mott Branch Library on Saturday, June 18th from noon to 4. It's our community health and wellness fair. Who's all involved? The Omegas, Omega Sci-Fi. I think I want to say Incorporated, but I don't want to mess it up. So if Julian or Richard or any other Q dogs are looking, hey, you already know I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. The Neighborhood Health Association is kicking in to assist us with a lot of the prostate screening and a lot of the information and making sure that the information that people are getting come from people that know what they're talking about. And that's really important. Brothers United is one of the main organizers of this, along with the Omega Sci-Fi. And I really hope I'm saying that right. Pathways, right there at the Hamilton building. We used to call it EOPA, but it's the Hamilton building. So we thank Pathways for being a part of this and helping us organize on the Educated Activist Program. If you don't know what the Educated Activist Program is, this summer you will find out. And also ProMedica, the Toledo Lucas County Library, Martin Luther King School, MLK School. I've had to look it on my phone, all right, to see. My eyesight is going a little bit. First Tee. So we may even have I think we're going to have some golf, exhibition or, some little golf tips, all right? Lord knows I need all I can get, all right? State Farm, going to have our brother Vince Davis from State Farm to come out. And family, we need to know about insurance. At the rate that we're dying, at the rate that us as men are passing away, we need to really be able to secure our families. And this is a way of doing it, making sure that you are insured. We getting support from the Lucas County Mental Health Board to assist us in the way of making sure that when we have discussions regarding mental health, that we have competent people available to talk about it that are educated and trained to do that. And lastly, we have CSRN has stepped in to help and assist. Give me 1 second, family. Let's see. We're trying to get one of our guests on, and Looks like we're having some difficulty. This is live, so it's all good. Let's make sure that our brother has received. No, it does not look like he's received anything. Give me 1 second, family. Yeah, that's weird. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that worked. We got an awesome brother that's going to be on and talk about the criminal justice system regarding mass incarceration. So let me make sure that this is happening. All right. So we got through with the talking about some of the people that have helped us along. We talked about Juneteenth and Family Be There. June 18th, 12 to 4. This would be also an opportunity for us to come together and support our community. And we're asking for our young people to come out, our older people to come out. It is going to be a safe environment. This is a community event. Some people asked me earlier, well, is there going to be a protest? No, it's a Juneteenth program. All right. We are acknowledging that there was a time that everyone that was involved in chattel slavery did not get the message till late. And what does Juneteenth mean to us now is that we're free to unite with each other. We're free to work together. We don't have to be fractured anymore. So, of course, all of us know that we are not a part of chattel slavery, but we are striving to get away from being mentally enslaved by self-hate and self-doubt and low self-esteem. So on the 18th, it's going to be about togetherness. It's going to be about love. It's going to be about unity. It's going to be about hope. All right. It's not going to be a protest. Well, you know, that's something that we do, but that's not what's going to happen at CSRN. And we advocate for justice in many ways. But on the 18th, it's going to be about Juneteenth, about us coming together, realizing that we can work together regardless if you're in a fraternity, if you're part of a church, if you're not part of any type of religious organization. You just want to feel the togetherness of Black people or in people in general. So join us on that day. What I want to shift to right now is something that I was watching on the news. Let me take this off. And I want to, man, what's happening all over America, and particularly Buffalo. I want to share that to my screen. And really and really get some, some thoughts about, and this is from the Guardian, newspaper. And it says that this person has been plotting this attack for months. And if you didn't know, this was in Buffalo, where a homegrown terrorist bent on hate and evil decided to go to a location and shoot all Blacks. These people, because of a lot of racist politics and a lot of racist white supremacist thoughts, are really goading these people to decide that they have to take their country back, and it wasn't theirs, Anyway, so this man decided that on that day that he was going to take the lives of all of these people, all right, and felt that we were replacing them. So this guy, Peyton Gendron, felt that he was going to live stream himself on killing people, and particularly Black people. So what does that mean for us? It means that we need to be aware of our surroundings, for one. It'll be really important if all of us started being more aware of our surroundings and how to protect ourselves. We are not living in the America where you can just go out and think that you're going to come back home without a challenge. There are people out right now that are plotting to kill us. So how does that relate with us? Because right now we're killing ourselves. So what good is it that we can say Black Lives Matter or all Black Lives Matter, but we're killing us and they're killing us? So at one point, we might need to reevaluate how we treat each other. Because if it looks like we're expendable and easy to kill, then others feel like they can do it too. So this is my call for anyone that has been involved in street organizations, that I understand that you might feel that you have an enemy, but all of us have a shared enemy. And while we're killing each other, it gives them justification to kill us too. So for all of our family, our hearts go out to all of the families that were impacted by this evil person, by this demon that has thoughts of killing us, and then to go out and do it. So what that means to us, once again, family, we got to stop killing us. All right. How can we say that we should value Black life when people are watching us kill us? So something needs to change, especially regarding that. So that, that's not my 2 cents on it. That's my real sense, on the matter of how these things are happening. People are arming themselves and going out and hunting human beings. And we have to be especially aware. Even if you're in church, people are going into the churches now and killing people. I'm glad that if you ever went to a Nation of Islam meeting, we check everyone that comes into the mosque. Yes, I know that it's a place of worship. Yep, it is. However, there's still some precautions that need to be had, because you don't know who's coming in or what's on their mind. So for this Sunday, and really every day, let's all of us be more aware of our surroundings and start to be proactive on being security minded, not paranoid, but security minded. And I think that we would definitely help ourselves much if we decided to do that. Hey, family, it looks like we are coming up on another break. I'm going to take a short break. We're going to come back with maybe tying up some loose ends. So this is our CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober, safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. We're back. This is the CSRN Weekly Video Minutes. This is our weekly podcast where we talk about some of the things that we've done last week, which was, man, just being a part of the energy of the anti-gun violence citywide prayer walk and everybody that was involved in that. I thought that was amazing. And I hope that the planners and organizers decide to do more. And I'm down for promoting anything and everything that helps us move forward. So I'd ask that if anyone that's a part of the group wants to be on to talk about just how you organized it, what was some of the thinking behind doing this. And it made a difference because sometimes different people have to do it. And I always say that sometimes, hey, look, have somebody else say it because people might know me, and having somebody else say it may say it a different way and may make a big difference. Before we do anything else, I really wanted to go to our comments. I wanted to thank Sabrina Barnett Jamison for being in the chat, and she said that it amazes her how they bring these killers in alive. How does that even happen when I can't go to the store and get a can of pop without dying, or I can't sleep in my own house and not die, So, and she says, how do they bring them in alive? And she also wanted to add, yes, we do more than protests. Protest gets the attention. However, there's other things that we do too that may not need a crowd, all right? It may be visiting a family affected by the violence. It may be saying a prayer with the family that's being affected by the violence. It may be assisting people with the resources that they need to get through, And also want to thank our brother Reggie Williams. We had talked about the Frederick Douglass earlier. We had talked about the Frederick Douglass earlier and how it's on its way. Well, it's been on resuscitation for some time. And Reggie is responsible for that. And I really appreciate him for being steadfast. So what we're going to do right now, family, we're going to get right into talking about the prison industrial complex. And we're going to invite our brother Omar Gent to be on our podcast. Let's see if he's ready. All right, brother Omar, are you on? All right, let me turn up my volume a little bit in my ear. Let me turn up this volume. Hey, how you feeling, brother?
Feeling real good, brother.
All right, great, great. Hey, listen, for everybody that's watching, I wanna just thank everybody that's in the chat, Brother Omar. Brother Reggie Williams from FDCA. Want to thank also our sister Sabrina Barnett Jameson and everybody that's a part of New Order Human Rights Organization that helped and assisted making, continue to make some things happen. So big promotion, big shout out to everybody that's a part of this. Let me bring on a beautiful brother right now on our podcast. I see we got Jody on. Jody, we're getting ready to bring our brother Omar. We got our brother Omar on. And also, Brother Omar, I want to bring on Brother Lamar too. All right. To see what's going to happen. Brother Lamar, how you feeling? Let's see. Brother Lamar, can you hear us? You may have to unmute on your end. We're trying to work this technology, brother.
Can you hear me now?
All loud and clear, loud and clear. Hey, Brother Lamar, listen, brother, we are going through our segment right now where we talk about the prison industrial complex and its impact on our men and women. And I wanted to bring on Brother Omar. Brother Omar, how you feeling, brother?
Real good, my brother. Real good.
Hey, we got somebody on the podcast tonight that you might know, Brother Lamar Gent. He's been down, for you for a minute. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's my father. Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right. And thank you, Brother Lamar, for being on at such short notice. We really wanted to make sure that we got you in, and also have one of my other committee members. So I'm gonna bring Jody in. I know that he's on a short break right now, so just excuse all of the.
Hey,
brother,
everybody.
how you feeling, brother?
Still alive, still alive, still alive.
All right. Hey, listen, I know you on short time, but I got
I got
somebody.
a half an hour.
All right, I've got Brother Omar on right now, so I'm going to bring you back on. Give me a few seconds, Brother Jody. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. So for anybody, for the people that are watching our podcast tonight, Brother Omar, who are you? And even though, like myself, as a former confined citizen, even though you are confined, what is it about you that makes you continue to fight this good fight?
All right. Thank you, brother, for having me on this platform. My name is Omar Gent. I was born May 6, 1984. Who am I? I'm just a warrior, my brother. First and foremost, I give praise to the Creator for giving me the strength, the knowledge, the power, the wisdom, KWAP, like my father called it, knowledge, wisdom, authority, and power to just move forward and bring this illegal mass incarceration, which not only impacts black males but black women, brown people, everybody. And as explained by my website, freeourbrothers.com, it exposes what the state of Colorado is doing to railroad people to prison. So I'm just I try to stay humble. The reason I say I try to stay humble because I learn more about myself. I realize I have a combative nature. So I try to stay humble and fight the right way, my brother.
All right, thank you. And I want to have our brother Lamar jump right in. Brother Lamar, I've got your son on. Why should people even care about this fight? You as a parent, why should other parents get involved?
Well, one thing that I have to say is that I would like to introduce myself first, and then it will clarify a lot of things. I did 20 years in law enforcement at the state of Florida. I did 4 years in the Department of Correction. I did 12 years as an instructor for armed security. 4 years with the state of Florida as a substitute teacher, and 6 years supposedly serving this country. And I say that as a burden. But I tell you one thing, it's a very hardening, it's very hardening to the heart, to have someone that you love so dearly and you know the system and you've been through the system, and then you understand that he has been railroaded and he has been given due process. He never received a speedy trial. I know the ropes. I was a detective for
Yes,
10
sir.
years. And I understand the system. The system is unjust. It doesn't
Mm.
justify us as black men, black women, or the poor people. And we all know how it goes. But how it affects me tremendously. But I stand by my son. You hear me? I
Yes, sir.
stand by my son. I support him any way that I can. And I try to keep him, and we try to keep each other mentally strong.
That's
See,
right.
you can imprison my body, but you can't imprison my mind.
That's right.
I'm free, and I thank
Yes, sir.
God I'm free. And the only way that we can accomplish this is with the Spirit. I say, Jeremy, let the Spirit guide you.
Mm.
As you study His Word, God will provide people like you, Brother Washington,
Yes,
other
sir.
people that we'll try to get in contact. And it's so disheartening to try to get in contact with people who claim they will help, but
That's right.
it's a lot of talking, you see, but there's no action behind it, And I try to fight as much as I can. But I don't know if you ever seen that movie with Nelson Mandela when he was incarcerated and he was confronted with about four other brothers. And they were like, Nelson Mandela, what are you doing here? Get us out of here. He held that pinky finger first. See, and I saw your model, your visual model with the fist. He said, now it's you, which would be two. It's you. It's
Yes, sir.
three. It's
Yes,
four,
sir.
and it's five. Now he said, you close it. He said, what you say, that is much power.
That's
When
right.
we join together to defeat the struggle, we have to find a way, or create a way where the voices will be heard. I'm not tired of talking after all these years. And Jeremy said, Dad, I want to help everybody else, not just Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else is going through what they're going through and they're suffering because of their intellect. But they think if you give a rat a piece of cheese, then he's contented. You see, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother, but my heart pounds each day. And I told my son, I say, if I go to that place and I can't get you out, it make me feel like I'll fall dead at the gates.
Mm.
And that's just the feeling that I have inside. But I try to stay strong with my
Yes,
son.
sir.
And we stay strong with each other because we know God is going to change. I put God first
That's
in
right.
our lives. He's going to change everything. See, and it's a hostile environment. Those 10 people being killed in Buffalo, New York. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Come on. That's a sad situation. And it's getting worse. But I believe in the revelations of the Almighty and what He says in these last days and times. We will go through these trials and tribulations, see, but this is not our home. And for those who believe, there are four groups of people: the dead in sin, the dead who's still alive, the righteous who will be still alive, and the righteous who died in Christ. So
Yes,
when He
sir.
comes back, the dead who created hell, that were in sin, they have already met their judgment.
That's correct.
And the ones that are alive, oh man, their judgment will be met. I'm waiting on that day. See, this doesn't faze me like Martin Luther King because I have seen the glory of God. See, stay connected. All I can tell my son, stay
Yes,
connected.
sir.
Yeah, we hurt, the flesh cries out, but the
Right.
spirit will endure.
I want to thank you, brother Lamar, and from being incarcerated myself, um, that gave me the know-how to do what I'm doing now. and all of us are going to be tried, and all of us could be being divinely prepared for the next phase of our life. And I do want you to know that for Brother Jeremy, Brother Omar, no, this isn't in vain. Every time he speaks, Brother Lamar, he's giving sight to the blind. Every time that he speaks, he's giving hearing to the deaf. Every time that he speaks, Brother Jeremy unlooses the knot.
And I welcome that.
Yeah, he unlooses the knot for a lot of us that
Yes.
think that our brothers and sisters that are incarcerated aren't any good or they're not educated. So this brother is waking up the blind, deaf, and dumb. So if he's doing this while he's incarcerated, all right, just imagine what he's preparing himself to not only help us, but to help humanity itself. So I'm telling you, brother, from someone that's already been there and done it, and seeing Brother Jeremy do what he's doing that I couldn't do because we didn't have internet. We didn't have internet. And also to see how you support him. That sends another message out to some of our parents out here that feel that they can't support their children, or they can't forgive, or they can't think another way. Well, you break that myth, Brother Lamar, by being here. And I really want to thank you for just changing everything. Look, I know I've got Jody. I'm going to bring Jody back in. Jody, are you good on time, or do
I got 10 minutes.
Okay, if you can. And we've got Brother Lamar Gent, and we got Brother Omar Gent on, father and son. If you could give us 5 minutes of heat and dedicate it to our brothers and sisters that are still a part of that prison industrial complex. Could you hit us, please?
So today, I'll introduce myself first. What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I am the treasurer of this wonderful organization that has been going, still going, and doesn't accept chatter from people claiming that leaders need to be everywhere and burn themselves out. So hopefully next week I'll be back on the show fully. Right now, again, every work and job is needed for workers, and I love my job. So I'm here right now trying to still get it in with the 5 minutes of heat. To you two brothers, love you. And thank you for continuing to show up. Thank you for continuing to be heard. And there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah,
today.
but they got like 5 minutes before they cut them off. Sorry, brother.
So today's actually is to change the mood, to take you down memory road. It's called I Grew Up on PBS. I think you guys might actually be within that age range to understand some of these things.
So I ain't that old.
Let's begin. Peace. I grew up on PBS. As a kid, my family didn't have much growing up, but we did have public broadcasting. I would sit there and watch the screen and imagine a different life. We didn't have cable or satellites, and our vacations were only as far as public transportation would take us. So I sat there and absorbed all the information I could glean. Watching the Electric Company, Fraggle Rock, Sesame Street, This Old House, Bob Ross creating happy little trees, reading Rainbow, The Magic School Bus, the various amounts of cooking shows, and how to DIY. I was always amazed by the Masterclass series and how these amazing creators got to be the person they were. The fundraisers were interesting, but I enjoyed the orchestras more than anything. Bill Nye, the Science Guy, Schoolhouse of Rocks, and Nova took the cake. As I got older, my life was nothing like I saw on the screen. I couldn't find Big Bird or the Cookie Monster, and all I seemed to run into was Oscar the Grouches as I got older. No Super Grovers or Elmos appeared, and there weren't too many happy little trees. I felt like I made a mistake somewhere and definitely took a wrong turn into the feeding cage of Jack Hanna's Animal Show before they were put on the screen. I found myself lost for many years, and then one day I decided to make a change. I took a right, yes, a right, at Mr. Rogers' house instead of the left that put me down this road. I saw the familiar face of Snuffleupagus, and I continued down Sesame Street, guided by the reading rainbow, and paused at the completed old house. I finally found those happy little trees and grabbed a mill from Julia Child. The electric company finished the streetlights just as Miss Frizzle was pulling up to take me the rest of the way. The Kratz brothers waved and showed me that the animals weren't so scary, and the count, yes, the count, gave me the numbers I needed to subtract where I went wrong. Now I write books, appear in films, create my own artwork, my own brands, and I'm building, yes, building a better future for those that see me now. I get to perform all over the country with the sound of my voice and the imagination PBS instilled in me as a kid. My family didn't have much growing up, but we did have public broadcasting. And because of those hours, yes, hours spent in front of the screen, I am here to tell you my dreams. In peace.
Thank you, Brother Jody. Thank you. And as always, we snap our fingers, all right? And 5 minutes of heat, Brother Lamar, Brother Jeremy. 5 minutes of heat is how we close out our podcast. We don't close it out with a gavel. We close it out with creative expression. And Jody is our treasurer. He's also perfected the spoken word. And I thank him for doing that. You know, yes, sir. Yes, sir, for doing that for us week in and week out. Thank you, Brother Jody.
Yep. I'm
Yes,
about
sir.
to get to the end, but you know, life doesn't
Yes, sir.
stop just because you want it to. You have to
That's
make
right.
it happen. Thank you, brothers, for being on. And whoever else was on the show, I'm going to watch the replay back later. And
Yes, sir.
love you all. You know, all Black lives matter, no matter what, justice or else. See y'all later.
Peace.
Peace with you.
Yes, sir. And once again, Brother Lamar, Brother Omar, thank you for being a part of this. And I had one question for our audience. Brother Omar, we've got Juneteenth coming up. How important is it that we not only know our past, but to continue moving in the present? What do you say to that question right there?
Man, it's a very powerful question to sum it up. You know, people, a tree don't have its roots. You know, it can't stand. You know, so your past is your roots, even though you're living in the present. But in order to not repeat the mistakes and learn from the knowledge that was before you, you must study your history. You know, you must study how to progress, and you know, because the ancestors and those who came before us, you know, and they basically.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
So in 60 seconds, I would say, you know, history is very important. Juneteenth basically was about, you know, them, we know that history, but slavery is still here. So as I battle, I thank all you for embracing this cause and New Order Human Rights group. Please join the movement at freeourbrothers.com, Instagram at freeourbrothers. I read so many good things about your group. Thank you all.
Well,
you have 30 seconds remaining.
Well, as always, Brother Omar, we thank you. We thank you. Revolutionary greetings and
shields up.
Shields up, brother. Original salute. Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you.
Brother Lamar, every week, if it's the will of God, we have our brother Jeremy on, and we ask him questions so that he can explain it from his perspective. And if he's able to get out of his pod or get out of his cell and provide some hope to us out here that have more free movement, it inspires so many people, Brother Lamar. And you have a beautiful son.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I don't know if we have enough time. And you were talking about understanding your history,
Yes, we have enough time.
and knowing your history. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
and I began to think about it. And there are two things that's a carnal man that we understand according to our history as it took place. And the other part is the biblical spiritual history that gives us the identity of our royal priesthood, of who we are, where we belong, our diet, our long suffering, our mercy, the grace that God has given to us, and to understand our destiny. When Jeremy gets out, we're going to get together. He's going to do his thing. We're going to do our thing together. I'm working on a organization called Destined to Win. And
Yes,
all the
sir.
knowledge that I have, through the knowledge, through the wisdom, through the authority, and through the power, and those who have been educated and incarcerated or whatever it may be, they can come to the center and they can speak their peace. They can give peace. They can give consolement from their knowledge and from their intellect. And I'm trying to form it and understand how to organize a nonprofit organization and use the money that's up there in Washington, D.C. See, it's easy to sit back, like I tell my wife, and
Teach.
complain about certain things. You got to do something about it. You got to rise above it, or it's going to stay the same. If we
That's
don't
right.
make a change, where would the change come from? And it starts here and right now. And it also has started in the past. It's just having an overstanding, not an understanding. Under means to be beneath. Stand means to be erect. And me and Jeremy, we
Go
talk
ahead.
about it. See, now I overstand because I have been enlightened. I have gotten the knowledge. I'm not going to stay under what you have given me. I'm not going to stay under the conditioning of the mind because I see you. I
Yes,
see
sir.
you as you are. And once I evaluate the character of a man, then that tells me the worth of a man. So we're going to open up this thing. I'm studying as we speak. And because I want to know what to do, I don't want anybody to tell me how to do it. I want to do it the right way. Of course, I
Yes,
need the
sir.
help. But if somebody telling me something and I never found it out for myself, how do I know that it's right?
That's right.
Yeah. So mentors, from female mentors, male mentors, whatever they
Right.
may be, you're
Right.
welcome to speak. Come into the center. You're welcome to speak. And then the person that you bring in, you're in charge of that person. So if that
That's right.
person doesn't act accordingly, you have to address the issue. If you
That's
can't,
right.
we will address that as a united force and deal with the situation. The corrective measures will be put in place. So I have a dream. And from that dream, I have a vision. And from that vision, I'm going to put it into action with everybody who's willing to move
That's
forward.
right. Yes, sir.
We have to change the way that we think. And when those things happen, opportunity finds
That's
its
right.
place.
That's right. Well, I can't imagine it not happening. And I hope that there could be, after you get things together, I hope that there could be something that we could do to support that, because that's how things happen. If we're
Absolutely.
waiting for, if you're waiting for someone to do something for yourself that you could do, we'd be
Mhm.
waiting a long time. All right. And someone has to sacrifice their time, their integrity, their skill set to give back. And I love what Jeremy is doing by giving back. He could easily be bitter, like a lot of us that are incarcerated right now. He could easily be bitter and shut down, but he's not. He's sacrificing himself, and I'm out here benefiting from him so that I can assist other brothers that are incarcerated, and so that I can assist some of our brothers and sisters that are out here. I want to thank you, Brother Lamar, for on such short notice for coming on. And anytime that you feel that you need to come back and say what's on your heart, feel free at any time. You're more than welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that invitation. And I just want to say one thing about my son. He understands his gift, he understands his talent, and he understands his will. A lot of people cannot identify that to be successful in their life. They don't understand it. I used to tell my students when I taught in the security field, if you can understand those things, that can you describe what is your gift, what is
Yes,
your
sir.
talent,
Preach.
and what is your will? Can you describe it? And none of them couldn't answer. You know why? Because they are or was, and maybe hopefully not, still a carnal man and think like a carnal man does. Thinking of the flesh, the lust of the flesh, the things that are happening now that sends us off track. I'm a spiritual man. I walk in the light. And I try to entice those to walk in the light so they can find their way through the
That's right.
trials and tribulations of this world. This world is in hell. We're in hell right now.
That's right.
And we need to see the light and stay spiritually strong. That's I keep my son spiritually strong. He keep me spiritually strong. Because things happen to me. Even though I'm not incarcerated, this is an incarcerated world. All of the
Teach.
sick things going around us. You know, he just can't get out. But he's doing, he's utilizing his talent, he's
That's right.
utilizing his gift, and he understands the will to do the will of God for others who may be low, may be above, or whatever it may be. But they are so infiltrated with sin in their lives they can't see. They rather
Teach.
stay in jail and enjoy what they enjoy, the homosexuality, all kinds of other things. That Jeremy tell me about some of them. I say, oh my God. He told me one inmate said, now he rather stay because it's easier. He has an easier time in jail because everything is there for him.
Yes, sir.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How can you
And
not want to free your mind?
well,
My
that's
brother,
real. Yes, sir.
but
That's real. Yes, sir.
my,
I want to thank you, Brother Lamar. And
yes,
as we close out, one of the things that I failed to mention earlier that our Nguzu Saba word today is Ujima. That's collective work and responsibility. And that means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together.
yes,
As
sir.
we close out with our solidarity pledge, which is to pledge to strive to love our brothers and sisters as we love ourselves. We pledge to strive to study to improve ourselves spiritually, mentally, morally, and physically for the benefit of ourselves, our family, and our people. That we pledge to strive to be a part of the solution, the process, and not the problem. And we pledge to strive to give all that we can spare of our time, strength, and energy to achieve the above said. That's our solidarity pledge. That pledge, we heard a lot of people heard it for the first time at the Million Man March, and we made it and adapted it to what we do here. I want to thank you, brother. I want to thank you so much, Brother Lamar, for being a part of our podcast, and I hope to see you soon, brother.
Okay, can I just say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I think when we finish our podcast, even with the solidarity pledge, we should and we must end it with a prayer to the Most High.
Would
Because
you
he,
mind leading us in prayer? Yes, sir, brother.
yeah, it's a suggestion. You know why? Because he's going to lead us, you know, into all righteousness. Dear Heavenly Father, as we have spoken unto you, Father, we ask you to be with us. We ask you to protect us. Regarding all the things that's happening in this sinful world, Father, touch us from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet, Father. Anoint us with your love. Anoint us with your care. And Father, help us to always direct our thoughts towards you because we seek the answers. You said we have not because we ask not. So we're asking in your name, Yeshua, be with us, bless us, and keep us, and give us the knowledge that passes all understanding. So we ask for your wisdom, because we know wisdom is the key. So we pray for these things. And Father, when thou art seen coming in the clouds of glory, save us, Father, save us in your kingdom, because we know that this is not our home. We ask you these blessings in your most precious name of Yeshua. Amen.
Amen. I want to thank you, brother. And as always, all Black lives can't matter. All Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else, peace. Thank you so much, brother, for being a part of this.
Yes, sir. Take care.